had expected this story to be about leprechauns. Now that I have revealed this, do not expect it to be a light and friendly reading. Leprechaun. The classic tale of the leprechaun is that of the Irishman catching one of the wee folk and demanding to be given the little fellow's crock of gold. In these stories, the sly leprechaun always managed to trick the greedy lout, who has grabbed him by causing the human to glance away from him for even a moment. Once a human takes his eyes off the leprechaun he has somehow managed to glimpse in the first place, the wee one has the power to vanish in a flash. The leprechaun, dressed in his bright green clothing with a red cap and a leather apron, was originally known as the cheerful cobbler, a wee person who takes delight in repairing human shoes for a reward of a bowl of porridge. The country folk of Ireland, known better than to disturb the mounts or wraiths that which leprechauns dwell. Those who would wantonly violate their domilis is to invite severe supernatural consequences upon oneself. The trouble at the Rath, outside the village of Wexforth, began on a morning in 1960, when the workmen from the State Electricity Board began digging a hole for the electrician of a light pole within the parameters of a rath. The villagers warned the workmen that the pole would never stay put, because no self-respecting community of weak folk could abide a disturbance on their mound. The big city electrical workmen had a laugh at the expense of the villagers and said some uncomplimentary things about the level of intelligence of the townsfolk of Wexforth. They finished digging the hole to put the depth that experience had taught them was accurate. Then they placed the post within the freshly dug opening and tamped the black earth firmly around its base. The satisfied foreman pronounced for all within earshot to hear that no fairy folk or leprechaun removed the pole from where it had been anchored. However, the next morning, the pole tilted at a sharp angle in loose earth. The foreman of the crew voiced his suspicions that the leprechauns had received some help from some humans bent on mischief, glaring his resentment at any villagers who would meet in his accusing eyes. The foreman ordered his men to reset the pole. The next morning, that one particular pole was once again conspicuous in the long line of newly placed electrical posts by its weird tilt in the loose soil at its base. While the other poles in the line stood straight and firmly upright, the one woe-begone post was tilted askew. The foreman had endured enough of such rustic humor at his expense. He ordered the crew to dig a hole 6 feet wide and place the pole precisely in the middle, packed the earth so firmly around the base that nothing short of a bomb could budge it. The next morning, the intrusive pole had once again been pushed loose of the little people's wrath. The foreman and his crew from the electricity board finally knew that they were licked. Without another word to the grinning villagers, the workmen dug a second pole. 4 feet outside of the mound and dropped the pole in there, and that was where it stood, as solid as the Emerald Island for many years to come. Take heed, a warning, what we have mistaken to be nothing but a non-threatening wee folk. Don't start chasing rainbows. We'll see each other on our last night, on Halloween night.